The elevator jolted to a stop between floors, lights flickering as the hum died, and Lena Hart felt her chest tighten before she could stop it. Her phone had no signal, her suitcase lay open at her feet. And beside her stood Adrian Cole, her boss, the famously unshakable founder of Cole Ventures. Rolling up his sleeves like this was just another minor inconvenience instead of a sealed metal box at midnight. If you're enjoying stories like this, drop a comment, like the video, and subscribe. You won't want to miss what happens next. They were freed 20 minutes later, only to learn the hotel was fully booked because of a medical conference. One room remained. One bed. Lena's instinct was to refuse, to sleep in the lobby if she had to, but exhaustion pressed down on her harder than pride. Adrian didn't argue. He simply said he'd take the floor and let her decide. That choice, quiet, unforced, was the first crack in the wall she'd built around him. The room was small, clean, and painfully silent once the door shut.
Lena sat on the edge of the bed, breathing shallow, the air suddenly tout.
She'd handled hostile boardrooms, impossible deadlines, and her father's funeral without breaking, but now her hands began to shake. She tried to hide it. She failed. Adrian noticed immediately. He didn't touch her. Didn't ask questions that demanded answers. He sat on the chair across the room and spoke calmly, firmly, like anchoring a ship in rough water. He told her what was happening, that panic couldn't hurt her, that it would pass. He reminded her to breathe, slow and steady, and waited. When her breathing finally evened out, relief washed over her face, followed by embarrassment. "There's nothing to apologize for," he said before she could speak. "You're safe." That night changed the shape of everything, though neither of them said it out loud. The next morning, Adrian walked into the investor meeting and did something no one expected. He credited Lena, by name, for the turnaround strategy that had saved the quarter. Heads turned. Notes were scribbled. Lena felt something unfamiliar settle in her chest, pride without fear. Back at the office, whispers followed her.
Too close to the CEO. Special treatment. Adrian shut it down fast.
He called a meeting, clarified boundaries, and announced Lena's temporary reassignment under another director to remove any conflict of interest. He made it clear it was about protection, not punishment. The rumors lost their bite when facts replaced speculation. Weeks passed. The tension eased. Lena thrived in her new role, confidence growing where doubt used to live. Adrian watched from a distance, careful, restrained. Leadership had taught him many things, but loneliness was still his constant companion. One evening, after a long day, he asked Lena to dinner. Not as her boss. He said that explicitly. She took a day to think about it. Then she said yes. They ate on a quiet terrace overlooking the city, the noise far below them. Adrian spoke about the years he'd spent building an empire while dismantling himself. About relationships he'd sacrificed for control, about realizing too late that power didn't equal connection. Lena listened, really listened, and when she spoke, she talked about grief, about being strong until strength felt like a prison. There was no rush.
No grand déclaration. Just honesty, careful and raw.
When he kissed her, it was brief, asking rather than taking. She smiled after, surprised at how calm she felt. Safe. They moved slowly after that, deliberately. Adrian stayed transparent. Lena stayed grounded. Work remained professional. Life grew fuller. Months later, standing side by side at a company event, no one whispered anymore. They saw a leader who protected his people and a woman who knew her worth. They saw respect. And sometimes, late in the evening, when the city lights softened and the day finally loosened its grip, Lena would think back to a stalled elevator and a moment of fear that became the beginning of trust. If this story moved you, like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more stories that prove love doesn't have to be loud to be powerful.